I want to talk about my state of Indiana. It's kind of problematic, but it's what I want to talk about today. And by the way, this is day 5 of me just speaking out into the void, not judging myself. If I say anything wrong or improper or overgeneralize something, I'm just trying to break my perfectionism. Please be nice in the comments. But I will start this video off by saying I am a left-leaning person, but I also, more than anything, do not believe in an originalist view of the Constitution. I think that that is the first mistake that we have and that is going on in this country. And whenever we actually look at Indiana itself, the originalist view of the Constitution really works here because have a deep history of white supremacy in the state of Indiana. And it's the reason why Project 2025 has kind of taken off here. It's because we are ground zero for it. We are ground zero because of several factors. And I'm not a native Hoosier. I moved here in 2008, the year that Obama was elected. And whenever I moved here, whenever Obama was elected, it was blue. And it seemed like it was kind of, on the up and up of progressive ideals, but we've gone very deep red very, very quick. And it took me a long time to realize that political reaction has a lot to do with the history of Indiana, which is rooted in white supremacy because in the 1920s, the second resurgence of the KKK took place in Indiana, and it hasn't gone away here. Whenever Trump was reelected, the KKK chapters actually put out flyers threatening undocumented immigrants that they were not safe in the state any longer, and things of that nature. And if you wonder, well, how is it possible that, the KKK is still around and, Project 2025 is so, it's very developed here, actually, in the state of Indiana. And you might go, well, how is that possible? Well, if you look at our state demographics, 75% of the population is white. Some statistics actually show that it is 86% white. So we are a very, very white state. And whenever you have a very white state, that means that you have a long history of people of European descent being related to Christianity. And there is a large religious community here in Indiana as well. And so they have elected Christian nationalists to be a part of our government, from all the way down to representatives, all the way up to the tippy top to our governor. And so Project 2025 has been easy to enforce here because it's what people have actually voted for a very long time. And so we have been fighting on the left for a while in Indiana to make sure that chaplains aren't put back in public schools, to make sure that Bibles aren't required to be taught in schools, making sure that there's actually a separation between church and state. For women, it's been a little bit worse, where no-fault divorces have tried to be passed this current year. Not only that, they tried to the Supreme Court thankfully shut this down, but they classified terminated pregnancy reports as public information instead of classifying them as medical records, which in Indiana we have a near total abortion ban, meaning that since the overturning of Roe v. Wade, abortions have gone down tremendously. I believe that there were 1,400 in the state of Indiana the year that Roe v. Wade was overturned, and then the next year there was only 40. And so those people remaining with those terminated pregnancy reports would basically have their general information leaked to the public for people of the pro-life advocacy groups to go and harass, and they would go and harass people and that kind of thing. So we've been fighting tooth and nail to just make sure that we just don't get any worse. And I have a lot of people that have asked me, why don't you move? And it's because if I move, I give up the fight for what is right here in the state of Indiana, where I have lived for a very long time. And I just think to myself that, one, I have white privilege, so I'm able to stay and be, relatively safe and things like that. But if I don't, stay and have my voice, heard and stuff like that, then, other people definitely won't as well, too. So that is kind of what I wanted to talk about today, is just, Indiana is, the hub for Project 2025. And, even Trump has said that, we are kind of a goal, especially when it comes to education here, which we have this voucher program, which is fine, but it's also super problematic. If you dive into for-profit schools or privatized schools, it is super fucking problematic. So I just kind of want to highlight that, while we are being framed as a state to emulate, there's a lot of problems here. And I think that that needs to be made very, very clear. And yeah, I think that's where I'm going to end this video today. So do with this information what you will, and I hope that you all have a great day.